On March 22nd, 2024, I saw Shin Ultraman. It was the first Ultra thing I ever watched, and unknowingly kicked off an obsession that has consumed me for the better part of 2 years. On January 12th, 2026, I finished the mainline Ultra series just in time for the latest show, Ultraman Omega, to wrap up. What a ride. Much like the Ultra series itself, my journey began with Godzilla, another kaiju franchise I'm a relative newcomer to. After dipping my toes into the pool with Shin Godzilla -1 and the original, I decided, hey, these are pretty cool, I should watch the rest of them. So I did, and it was in the wake of my massive Godzilla binge that led me to watching the rest of Hideaki Anno and Shinji Higuchi's Shin Japan Heroes project, which of course features Shin Kamen Rider and Shin Ultraman. I really liked Shin Ultraman when I saw it. Even if it felt like I didn't know enough to truly appreciate it, I still had a good time, and Ultraman seemed like a cool guy. But I told myself I'd never watch the shows, there was just too much, I'd never find the time. Fast forward to June and the release of Ultraman Rising on Netflix. Since it was another standalone movie, and since my Twitter algorithm had kept feeding me more and more Ultra stuff with my mix of assorted kaiju content, I decided I'd give it a shot when it came out, and I ended up having a blast. The next month I got fully swept up in the hype when Ultraman Arc premiered on YouTube. It was the first tokusatsu TV show I'd watched, and I was hooked. So I jumped back to the previous year's Ultraman series, Blazar, and let the binge begin. After Blazar, I jumped even farther back into the TDG series everyone talked so much about, and once those were finished, I went back to where it all began with Ultra Q, and worked my way back to the present in roughly chronological order. Now I'm here, having crammed 60 years of TV shows and movies, OVAs, and the occasional comic and novel into my brain. And after all that, after hundreds of hours of giants punching kaiju and blasting aliens, countless minutes of sci-fi fun and sick flips, and of course after purchasing a truly staggering amount of SH figure arts along the way, I can finally say with the authority only granted through paying the price in the crucible of experience, that I friggin' love Ultraman. I love it so much it's hard to talk about it because it's just so big, and somehow I feel like I'll end up talking about every little piece of it, and how each of these little pieces are connected, and how they've evolved over the last 60 years. I love the suits, I love the effects, the miniatures and the scale, I love the monsters and the aliens and the fight scenes, I love the sci-fi stories and the worlds they're told in, I love the variety of stories and tones, I love the experimentation, I love the sense of hope and imagination, I love the sense of optimism, while still being honest that sometimes life is hard, and it sucks. And sometimes you've got to kill an innocent monster because it's just too big and destructive, and you're all just people trying to do your best to protect the people you love. I love that Ultraman is so often about love. Love for your fellow man, love for the planet and the sea and the stars, the love that inspires people to act, even when the situation is at its most dire. I love that Ultraman, the men, these alien protectors from beyond the stars, find something worth living and loving and fighting and even dying for in our little world. I love that because Ultraman is so old, we get to see how it's changed and grown and been shaped by the conditions it's made in, from the hopes and fears of the people behind it, to the progress of technology and technique. I love tokusatsu and suitmation. I love the desperate creativity behind them, born from the need to share a vision of towering giants with the world. A vision that has become clearer and more refined through the decades, but one that still has the power to excite the mind and resonate with the hearts of viewers all over the world. I love that I get to live in a world where things like Ultraman are readily accessible. That I get the chance to be affected so strongly by a series started over half a century ago on the other side of the planet, in a language I don't even speak. I'm so grateful that even if I didn't have the chance to grow up with Ultraman like so many others, I still found it at the perfect time when I needed something like this. Last year, I had a workplace accident that resulted in me being unable to work for months. And throughout a very painful recovery, one of the things that I was able to look forward to every day, when I was tired and aching and frustrated, was Ultraman. This seemingly endless well to keep coming back to that I was able to kind of lose myself in from time to time while I tried to get back up on my feet. Those months were filled with countless little moments that deepened my love for Ultraman and made it something truly meaningful and impactful for me in my specific situation. Moments that I believe speak to the transcendent power of art, to reach across time and space and still find a place in the hearts and minds of people who never could have expected it. The power to move, to inspire. And now, thanks to social media and fan communities, I don't think I go a day without seeing some kind of art inspired by Ultraman and the artist behind it, who have moved mountains to make giants real for 6 decades. Here's to many more years of special effects fantasy.
しゅわけ